Peter Flan, welcome back. Last time I spoke to you, we talked about how you can get more value from the Money Matrix program. Of course, you can achieve this by making yourself available to others in the program. This is called the collective intelligence, which is one of the 6 grids in the Money Matrix program. Simply by getting in touch with my office, you can take advantage of the Matrix Coach, which is getting in touch with other clients who have either dealt with the issue that you're currently confronting, or perhaps who are currently working their way through it as well. The idea here is that you have the advantage of their experience and knowledge. That's a great way for you to leverage your time and your effort. This resource, which again I refer to as the collective intelligence, is a massive resource and one that is there for you. You just have to let us know if you want to take advantage of it. A simple way you can get more value from the program, of course, is to get in touch whenever you need help. Email or call my office on the telephone and we'll be very happy to give you whatever assistance you require. Another way, of course, that you can get some help, particularly if it's a larger problem, is to get in touch with me directly, and we'll apply our collective intelligence and experience. This is because it's likely that whatever your challenge or obstacle is, that I have dealt with it myself before, or certainly one of our other clients will have. The last time I spoke to you, I did talk about the idea of how to get the power. Getting the power is really about becoming more enabled. The more enabled you become, the more you're able to achieve. And usually that's with less time and effort. So to become more enabled, perhaps there is one step that some of you will need to undertake first. This is where you accept and agree that to be able to become more enabled, you will have to do this on a more intangible level. In other words, this is to complement those tangible logic type approaches that you adopt in everyday life. Certainly logic is powerful and useful when it comes to analysing investments and developing plans. However, when it comes to problem solving, we need to adopt a more creative approach. The more creative, in fact, we can be, the more likely it is that we will be able to engineer a solution that enables us to move beyond the barrier that we currently confront. So, firstly then, for those of you that think it's necessary, just accept the fact or agree that to be able to get the power and to become more enabled, that you will do that on a more intangible level than what you are doing in everyday life. How do you get the power? Simply by using the tools in the Money Matrix program, because these tools are enablers. Each and every one will enable you in a different way. Put simply, you can enable yourself somewhat by using one of the tools. And if you use a second tool, then you become more enabled. Use all of the tools and you can appreciate the compounding effect of how enabled you can be. Now that is real power. So ideally you would use all of the tools within the Money Matrix program. At least that's in an ideal world. Perhaps more practically today, you might select 3. I would suggest you start with the 7-day focus tool. That's basically a must-do, essential part of your toolkit that should be applied every day. Doesn't take long, only a few seconds, and it's relatively simple. The next one that is necessary is the time zones, because until you get control over your environment, until you're able to be creative, until you're able to come up with creative solutions, you won't have the type of resilience that successful people have. The next thing to do then is to consider perhaps a third tool. There are many options. It could be the Solution Creator tool, or it could in fact be the 30-day habit lock-in tool. In any event, if you want to get the power and to be much more enabled than you are now, I recommend that you have a think about what tools you currently deploy, and at the very least deploy 3. If you're already there and you're deploying 3, then another one. If you are currently deploying all of the tools that you've received so far in the Money Matrix program, then come back to me and we'll talk about how you can deploy those tools more effectively. You see, the tools and the way you'll use them on level 1 will be at a much more simple level than, for example, on level 2. And again, more simple than on level 3. Just the fact that you've used the time zones to some extent doesn't mean that you're necessarily using that tool to its fullest extent. Chances are there is a lot more leverage for you to achieve with any of the tools that you're using so far. There you go. That's how you get the power. So, have a think about that, and of course, thinking's one thing, but taking action and doing is quite another. So good luck, and let us know if we can help.